What the fuck is going on, everybody? Welcome back to KH No Filter Football. We're gonna have this lovely conversation about the Brentford game yesterday, and we'll see where this goes. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. My name is Marshalldbdx. I'm going to be your host today. No Kai, I believe, today, just because he kind of had some family emergencies go on, and he had to take care of business first. So we'll be filling in for him. So it'll be me and my other panelists here. I was going to say host with the most, but you're not hosting. So, Will, what's going on, bro?
Yeah, it's been a very weird few days. I don't know why. It's just that was a pretty boring game, wasn't it? Not boring, but I try not to say football's boring.
Game
But
of
it
two
was
halves.
exciting. It was exciting, but like not for all the right reasons. We'll say that.
it reminded me a little bit of past managers. Let's just say that, like with the blood pressure.
Yeah. Real Chris, how are you feeling, bro?
I'm doing good. I actually loved the game, actually, in all fairness. It reminded me of a
Gosh.
shit. No, it did. A shithousery game, what we needed. And, they've been actually playing good against West Ham's, Liverpool's, Arsenal's, and, Chelsea got 3 points at least, so I'm all good.
I think most people that have been paying close attention to the Prem realize that this game wasn't exactly going to be a walk in the park. But before we go on and continue, we might have call-ins today. We'll see how this review goes, and then we'll go from there. So if you guys want to do call-ins, you guys in the chat, stick around. We'll probably drop off that link for you towards the end of the review. But for now, guys, make sure, like Abdallah says here, make sure you guys slap that fucking like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. We're always doing our match reviews here, our Monday shows.
Have we got 9 dislikes?
There's no way.
I just wait. It must be glitched.
I mean, whatever. That's weird. That's never happened before. But yeah, guys, make sure you slap the like button and not the dislike button. Make sure you subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. Share the video if you'd like. If you're watching this in the future, leave a comment down below. Check out the description for our links, for our Twitter pages, for our Discord where we do watch-alongs and all that fun stuff. We also chat in there, and the link to my YouTube channel, which right now isn't working for some reason, but that's okay. We'll fix that. Google it. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get right into it. I guess we'll just start up with the lineup. So this was an interesting lineup. I think it's safe to say that Tuchel went back to a 3-5-2, which I didn't expect him to, considering there has been a little bit of trouble with the 3-5-2 lately. But we got to see a few names on there that we didn't expect to see anytime soon, and a lot of it due to the fact that we're kind of in an injury crisis right now. We have Pulisic injured. We have Rudiger injured for I don't know how long. I'm hoping it's not that long. Who else is injured?
Silva was like, he wasn't
Silva's
injured.
not
He was
injured,
out
but he's out because of international duty, the whole Brazil thing. He literally played 24 hours before the game. Who else was out? Drawing a blank here.
I'm trying to think, actually. There was a couple.
I feel like we had another. Pulisic is out as well.
It was mainly defense.
Ziyech had a headache.
Ziyech had a headache, which that one's a new one to me. I mean, look.
He had a headache day before.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like you can't
had to not play.
Can't be like, hey man, your head doesn't hurt enough. You go out there and play. Like if he's complaining about it, he's complaining about it. And
don't you take tablets to resolve that though?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe he got a concussion or something. We don't know. We don't know what's going on with his head. But at the end of the day, it's not like he was going to play anyways. So,
he'd been benched.
Yeah, he would have been benched anyways. So yeah, we had a few injuries, and I think we had a few players that were fatigued over the weekend. Jorginho didn't start. This is Conte's first game back since injury. So there was a few weird setups going on. A few I don't know. I can't find the words for it, but we had Malang Sarr start, which I didn't expect to see Malang Sarr start for us at all this season ever. I thought Tuchel was going to go Chalobah, Christensen, and Aspie, just to be safe. But yeah, so that one was a weird one. What do you? I'll go ahead and go to Chris first, and then we'll go to Will. But Chris, what'd you think of this lineup, and do you think maybe it was the right call? Maybe we messed up. Maybe we should be going back to 3-4-3. Tell me your overall thoughts.
I think honestly, I think Thomas Tuchel actually set up the right way. He had to use that back line. Like, most of our defenders are actually out. Like, that back line was used, and I was a bit worried with Sarr when I saw him. I can't lie. Like, Sarr didn't give me anything in his first game in the Carabao Cup, I think, or whatever cup you want to call it. Anyway, he just didn't do enough in that game. He looked awful, but I thought he actually stepped up massively in that game. Like, he did really well for himself, and I'm happy for him because, you know, it does Chelsea good, it does him good. It's a win-win for us anyway, so I'm glad he proved me wrong. But Aspie at wing back, you know, he does that a few times. He has to step in. Reece James was injured, wasn't he? He wasn't fully ready, so Reece James
didn't come in later. But
he wasn't fully. Yeah, he just wasn't fully fit. That's all. And it just shows how good our depth is as well, and how Thomas Tuchel manages our team. He does it really well. And Brentford, they're not an easy team to deal with, or anything like that. So. I think the lineup did really well. We set up the same formation as them, I think, as well, like 3-5 or what? No, 3-5-2, whatever you want to call it. We set up like that way, and I thought Ruben, Kovacic, and Kante did really well in the midfield. Like, I thought we actually dominated through like 70 minutes ish. Like, we just held the game pretty well, and our strikers was a bit isolated, but they put in a shift, I thought, in that game. So I did think Thomas Tuchel did get it right. You know, we got a 1-0 win. It is right.
Okay, that's one way to look at it. You said you think we dominated the game for 70 minutes?
Roughly, yeah. We hold possession a lot of it, yeah, and then we lost control.
Okay, well, Will, tell me what you think about this lineup when you first saw it, and what the result ended up being.
I was fine with the lineup because on paper it looked a bit odd, but when we watched us play, we tried to be proactive. We tried to be on the front foot and press high, camp them in their own half, but it didn't really work around the second half. They started to actually play out really well, started to create more chances than they did in the first half. I know they hit the post in the first half, I think, but apart from that, I don't think they were that dangerous. But then they started to step up their game. And I think that's when it almost looks like we lost control of the game in the second half. But I think actually we tweaked how we wanted to play. We weren't pressing them as high. You could tell that we aimed to be way more pragmatic after we got the goal, especially after the 60th minute. If we wanted to have more control of the game, I would not have brought on Mount. I would have brought on Jorginho and have Kante and Ruben alongside. But I thought the starting setup was fine, I think, and we got the win. So I'll take a 1-0 against Brentford away. They're a difficult team.
Yeah, and you said it right there. You nailed it on the head with that last statement. Brentford are a difficult team. Just because they just got promoted doesn't mean that they're pushovers. We saw what they did with Liverpool, a 3-3 draw. You know, and Liverpool have been offensively, they've been a fantastic team. You saw what they did to Watford on yesterday, right? That was yesterday morning. Yeah, you saw what they did to them. 5-0 defeat. They're able to keep some clean sheets from time to time. I don't think their defense is very stable, but regardless, Brentford got a result. They have players. They have what seems like a good manager. They know what they're doing, and they've come to prove a point that they're here to stay. So, look, kudos on Brentford. And honestly, yesterday's game, it didn't feel like a win to me. I felt like a defeat.
Really?
Yeah, to me, because I agree with you guys. That first half was fantastic. We looked great. We creating chances. We had Brentford at the edge at the edge of their heels, on their heels, whatever. And, N'Golo looked amazing. He was just dribbling through the midfield. He was dominating that midfield. Ruben had to play more of a 6. But even as a 6, he was doing a great job of maintaining possession, getting passes, being creative as well, which, I mean, look, Ruben got to start again. He's giving Tuchel a bit of a headache when it comes to this midfield situation, and I'm starting to feel that maybe we shouldn't have been so reactive in the transfer market and got Saul. Maybe we should have just given Ruben time, but alas, that
in all fairness with Saul, he was alone now, so no harm.
Yeah, no, and he was alone. It's a loan too, so that makes it not as bad. But like, imagine if we had gone out and bought. Not to complain about Tchouaméni or anything, but like, imagine if we gone out and bought a Tchouaméni, or we bought a Rice, or we bought just like another midfielder, we had something that could have held us until we went for our actual targets. You know what I mean? I didn't want to sell for anything less than Tchouaméni or whatever transfer targets Chelsea want. But alas, we continue. Kova had a decent game. I'm not gonna say he had an amazing game or he was like a standout player. Freaking got a chance to shoot the ball and freaking sent it to Brentford Stadium. No, sent it back to Stamford Bridge, man. Fucking shot the ball so damn high. But overall, that was that first half. It was great. Once the second half came, we just capitulated. I felt like we couldn't keep possession at all. It was terrible. Like, Mendy essentially saved us. If we had Kepa in goal, not to disrespect Kepa, but if we had Kepa in goal, we lose that game. We lose that game. It's that simple. Like, if Mendy wasn't the keeper that he is, we lose that game, or we at least draw, because they hit the post. First of all, we got lucky. They hit the post twice, both posts, and then I forgot who it was. Was it Kanos?
Is that not why we sign keepers for, though, Marshall, to have games like that sometimes?
Yeah,
and that's fine. Yeah. That's fine. And that's why we have Mendy, and it's great that we have Mendy. But on an off day, those opportunities, those chances go in. And the thing is too that you look at our defense last year versus our defense this year. Our defense last year, they were one of the lowest to concede shots, concede opportunities. You couldn't get opportunities. You couldn't get shots. You were lucky if you got one shot per game, one opportunity.
Unless there's West Brom,
We were as open as a brothel and with a condom. Like, it was just the only thing protecting us was Mendy. Mendy was the condom, and as soon as that condom broke, we were gonna just concede. And I didn't like how shaky our defense was. And mind you, I understand. Christensen's really the only starter there. Chalobah, he's great and all, but he's not, the finished product yet. And Malang Sarr had a great performance. Still a little raw, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Still needs some experience.
They did target him.
Shaky, indecisive, but I'm going to stop talking because I want you guys to get your opinions as well. What exactly went wrong in that second half, in your opinion, Will?
I just think our press wasn't as intense. I think it's weird. It's weird because I don't think bringing on Mount was the right thing to do. But then again, our press.
We got to get to that too. I really want to talk about that.
Our press in the second half was non-existent. It was absolutely shit.
It was terrible.
I think if we didn't have Ruben on the pitch, I think we lose that game, if I'm being honest. Because there's so many times where he was caught in tight spaces and he got out of it and used his physicality to bump people off, and we progressed the ball well. I think if we don't play Christensen, I think we lose as well. I think there's so many times where our defence got pressed and they looked a bit shaky, but Christensen always found the right pass to to break it up, and so we could try and play out. Yeah, I thought we were just very average, and not bringing on Jorginho did not help. I would have brought him on as soon as. Do you know what? I would have brought him on at half time for Kovacic, and that's nothing really to do with Kovacic. It's just he was on a yellow card, and we know what Anthony Taylor's like when our players are on yellow cards.
Yeah, I mean that we lost the midfield completely in that second half. Like you could see it clearly.
I
Like
wouldn't
we
say
couldn't
entirely
keep
second half.
possession. I don't know, Chris.
I think
For
we
the
lost. I
majority of that
honestly
second
thought we
half,
lost control at 70 minutes roughly.
I think we were starting to lose control of it, and then it capitulated completely once Kova left.
Chris, all I'm going to say is I'm rewatching the game right now, and we've been getting outplayed for at least 15 minutes, and I've only just got to the 70th, so I think it was a bit longer than the 70th minute.
I think,
didn't seem like it was that bad in the second half until 70 to me. Like, to be honest, like it was like when there was a couple. They had a couple
Chris,
of chances in the second half.
It was a majority of that second half, Chris.
55 onwards.
I thought they just like threw everything out like when it was 70 minutes roughly, and they just threw everything at us, and we had like Sponge and Mendy saved us a few times. I'm not gonna lie, like if we didn't have Mendy that game, we'd probably draw that game easily, but. Yeah. I don't think it went massively wrong because
not even draw. We would have lost. We would have lost, Chris, if it wasn't for Mendy.
As well with what you're saying, I get why you do think that, because I think they created more chances after the 70th minute.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they had a lot more of the ball from the 55th onwards.
I swear, in the game around 60 minutes, though, it said we had like 60 possession roughly. Like we still holding the ball.
It was 51% possession. I think we had.
Yeah, the moment Kova came off is the moment that changed the game, where we were just on our heels the whole game. We're just defending. We couldn't keep possession, which is one of the most... For a possession-based team and a possession-based formation, the fact that we couldn't keep possession was baffling and embarrassing. It was embarrassing. Like, listen, I respect Brentford, but at the end of the day, we are champions of Europe. We are Chelsea. We have some of the best midfielders in the world. And you're telling me you can't keep possession? You can't retain the ball? It was frustrating as fuck. And look, kudos on the defense. Kudos on Ben Chilwell, by the way, for getting that phenomenal goal. What a strike. This man is a volley. Hit, wasn't it? He's a volley merchant. He really is. He's a volley merchant.
He loves them, doesn't he?
He loves his volleys, and he gets them on target. It's so often. It's
ridiculous. Can he teach some attackers actually like that? I really
know.
like to teach them to teach
I know. He really should teach our attackers to do that. It's ridiculous. But again, Chilwell saves us again. Like, he's doing great. He's making a statement. He's better than he was. I think he's doing better now than he did last year. He's doing phenomenal, and I'm happy to see him.
He got a few goals last season actually, and a few assists actually. So
similar to that too. Similar off the volley. He loves to score his volleys.
He was a volley.
And that's why you start him over Alonso.
Fucking loves to score volleys, bro. But listen, Aspie, he didn't do too much as far as I could tell. I mean, he was
solid.
He was solid. Yeah, he was solid. Our wingbacks didn't do a bad job. But
Marshall, did you see that Chilwell's got 3 goals in 3 games now for club and country?
Yeah. Right. Chilwell's doing fantastic. I love it. But the issue that I have right now with this current formation is that our attackers have been so lackluster. They're not like Timo. I'm not blaming Timo. I think Timo did as best as he could, but you know what? Let's just talk about this. I think we switched to a 3-4-3 once Mount came on.
We did.
And look,
he lost control.
Oh my god!
I really don't like the amount of criticism and hate that goes towards Mount. I don't. I think it's undeserved. I think it's excessive. I think it's ridiculous and it's unproductive. I really do. I think there's a lot of people that just hate on Mount because he's Mount, and it's whatever. And
I think part of it is maybe gets overhyped by a certain fan base, and that's why they hate on it.
And the thing is too, like if you're basing your opinion off of other fans' opinions, you shouldn't have an opinion to begin with. All right. Yeah. So, but let's get this right. Mount came on, and he did absolutely nothing. And I am starting to get I don't think it's just Mount. I think it's our attack in general. I'm starting to get really fed up with the amount of attackers that we bring into these games. Mason, Kai, Ziyech, and even Lukaku at this point. That we bring into these games and they do absolutely nothing. They do absolutely nothing. They did fuck all. And you know what? You could even say Mount's lack of a good press or lazy pressing that he had towards our half almost cost us a goal too. Mendy had to save it because he had a shit press. Ruben tried to get him out of jail when he attempted his press or his tackle and missed it. And like even the things that we like Mason for, he's just not performing them. He's been, I don't know what's going on with him. I really don't know. Like whatever. Like okay, Will. I don't want to make this a whole me show. I don't want to make this a whole me show because I have so much to say and I want to get you guys' opinion. Will, are you as frustrated with Mason Mount as I am right now? Do you see what I'm saying with all this stuff, all the criticism that I have about him?
I agree with the majority of your criticism, but I'm not really frustrated with him as such. I wouldn't say I'm frustrated. If he wasn't getting the amount of hate that he was getting, I probably would be frustrated with him. But I just don't go out. I don't really go overboard on him because I know what he can do. If we're at this place in 6 months' time or in a few months' time, then maybe I'll be worried. But the thing that annoyed me yesterday was when Mount got brought on, Ruben and Kante had to both drop deeper, which then you take away Kante's excellent ball winning because he doesn't have the freedom to push further up the pitch, and you take away Ruben's freedom to drive. You have to take away one of those. And if we were going to camp in our own box, or not in our own box, if we were going to sit deeper, I would have brought on Jorginho because Jorginho is a better defender than Mount. Of course he is. He's a very deep midfielder. He's in anticipation of the game's better than Mount. He can dictate the whole pitch. He can keep the ball for us. So I don't want to be one of those people that say, Tuchel did this, Tuchel did that. Because who am I to really question Thomas Tuchel? But on this occasion, if he just wanted to rest Jorginho and he thought we could see it through, I'm glad that he has confidence in our players to see through a game, even if they're not best suited to their roles. But yeah, I would have just brought on Jorginho. I think if we brought on Jorginho, they don't create two of the chances they did.
We hold the ball more.
Yeah, the thing is that I agree with you, Will. Like I know that when we do bring Mason Mount in, it's to inject energy into the game, to have a higher press, win the ball higher up the field. He does these things. He just hasn't been doing them lately. He hasn't been the same Mason Mount of last season. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if he's exhausted. I doubt it because he's coming in as a sub and he's not doing it. I don't know if he's putting too much pressure on himself. I don't know if he still needs to get used to playing with Lukaku. Like and Chris, I wanted to go to you about this. Even when last season, even when he was playing in the attacking three, he would come down and play almost as an 8 in a midfield position and just be a part of that midfield and just carry the ball up to the attack. Real Chris, are you concerned of what's going on with Mason?
With Mason Mount? I'm a little bit concerned actually because
even coming in as a sub, he's not even improving.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Like with Mason Mount, like he's actually performed pretty well. Like the season before, last season, he's performed pretty well. Like, but this season he hasn't. Like the only game really he's performed in is the Arsenal game. To be honest, maybe another game I don't know, but he hasn't really performed this season.
No, he wasn't even playing Crystal Palace, was he? No, he wasn't.
Arsenal. I said Arsenal. Because he did form an Arsenal game, but like lately, the last few games, even for England, he's just not doing much, and I don't know if he's just a bit burnt out. Mentality is just a bit low, or I don't know if it's mentality actually. Maybe he's just a bit burnt out. He's been playing so many games. I think he played he definitely played the most minutes out of our whole team last season, no doubt. Like, and maybe he just needs a rest. And And we're lucky enough to have so many good midfielders. We have Ruben, who's actually breaking into it now, and we have Jorginho, Kovacic, Kante. We have a few midfielders, even Saul with Navy.
Mm-hmm.
I think with Mason Mount, he just needs to be a bench player for a bit and maybe come on a few times. Like he just has to. But I wouldn't actually honestly start him in even in the Norwich game. We can have like Timo, Lukaku, Ruben or Hudson-Odoi at the wing and not have Mount in. Like I am a little bit concerned over him, but I think he does get a bit harsh, like criticized and everything. Like
of course,
he gets a lot of slander.
Yeah, and I 100% agree. I think he gets way too much undeserved
I'm not like that.
And I want to be patient with him. I do. I want to be patient with all our players.
I'm patient with Kai Havertz, so I'm happy patient
exactly.
with him.
If I'm going to be patient with Kai Havertz, I have to be patient with Mason Mount. I have to. I'm obligated because they're in the same boat right now. They're both underperforming. They're both not playing well. And, people want to say, oh, it's only the beginning of the season and, oh, it's just started and we're going to be fine. It's like, no. Listen, first of all, if you're coming to this channel just so you can hear positivity, rainbows and sunshines and all of a sudden girls shit fucking Pop-Tarts and all this shit, like you're in the wrong channel. All right. We're going to tell it like it is. We're going to fucking say what we see and we're going to criticize the things that could improve because that is what makes high quality. We strive for high quality football. We strive for a high quality team. We want this team to be the best, so we have a high standard. And when they don't perform well, when they struggle to defeat a Brentford, when they struggle to maintain a 1-0 lead to Brentford, that is a problem. And here on this channel, No Filter Football, we discuss those problems and we debate them. So if you hear for sunshines and rainbows, you're in the wrong channel. But anyways, with the whole Mason Mount thing, listen, I think for Malmo, because Malmo is next week, right? I think for Malmo, let him start. Let him figure out his form because he needs to. We need him to. Not because we're dependent on Mason, but we need attackers to start firing off.
Maybe to see what it's like,
That's
it's only Malmo,
see what
really.
It's like. Yeah, it's again, I don't want to underplay Malmo, but yeah, it's Malmo. There's a better margin for error in that game, and we can afford to play a Mason and a Kai or a Ziyech or whatever. I don't think Ziyech is going to get the call up, but maybe come in as a sub. But
he's got a headache.
Speaking of the attack, I do want to bring this up. He's got a headache. I think yesterday was one of Romelu's worst performances. Mm-hmm. Not because he kind of just ghosted, but when he did have the opportunity to score, not even close. Timo, I think of both of our attackers, I think Timo was the better attacker. Again, and that's so weird to say considering how we criticized Timo so much last season. Yet for this game, the one that looked the most dangerous was Timo. Yeah. Romelu wasn't appearing very often, and when he did appear, he was offside for one of the pass that Timo gave him.
You know the offside thing.
He should have been better. Yeah.
You know the offside thing? I actually saw a clip. Lukaku did actually get pushed with two hands from the defender. He just pushed him just straight
should
forward.
Should have gone down and got a pen.
Yeah. If he went down, VAR went reviewed it and said penalty.
And Anthony Taylor
can't use two hands like
seconds. Anthony Taylor looked at it 2 seconds and said, "Fuck you." You get yellow for diving, Lukaku. That's
cool. Okay, yeah, that's probably what would have happened. But regardless, I did see he get pushed. But dude, you're strong, one of the strongest, most physical players in the game. Come on, man. You can't just let fucking Pinnock or whoever the fuck it was just push you.
I don't know.
Dude.
I think that happens if you're strong or not. You're getting pushed from the back, and even if you're small, I can do it to a big guy probably in the game because you're running.
Yeah, but it's not like it's his first rodeo, real Chris. It's not like it's the first time it's happened to him.
I just think because Lukaku's no, because I think it's because Lukaku's running forward towards the ball and he pushes him forward. He just gives him more momentum forward, doesn't he? So, like, I think it's one of those, and it's sneaky.
Regardless, too, there was that one play, and I forgot how it happened, but he had an opportunity to shoot on goal, and he was onside, and he missed the goal completely. I don't know what's going on with Big Ron. I don't know if does he need a break. What's going on? Like, Will, what do you think is happening over here? Is it him? Is it our attack? Is it a combination of both? You know, like, this is the one thing we were worried about when people were talking shit in the beginning of the season when we signed him, and it seems like it's happening now.
I'm not worried at all. He's actually probably the player I'm least worried about out of all of our attacking options, because he's a goal scorer. He's a proven goal scorer in the Prem. Even when he's struggled in seasons, he gets at least double-digit goals, more than double-digit goals. So yeah, I'm not worried about him because he'll
play him against Norwich. Stop happening.
Yeah. He will get goals eventually. Werner, I thought was
Isaac.
Werner was all right. I think he was, but again, I agree with you. He's better than Lukaku, but Werner just. He doesn't quite, for me, look like he has that bit of confidence yet, that ruthlessness. Like, there was a chance where Kovacic played him in brilliantly, and he didn't shoot. He tried to square it to Lukaku, and if he just had that
that frustrated me. Yeah.
If he just had that bit more confidence, maybe he scores that. But yeah, with Lukaku, I just think he's not in the best form. Strikers go through bad patches of form, and it's not like he's not scored for us at all this season. He scored 4 goals in all comps. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, but isn't it 6 games in a row now for us that he hasn't scored?
Yeah. That's true. But
isn't that a cause for concern?
I don't know. Maybe we do have creative issues.
What do you think?
I think he's had a hard run. I was going to say with Lukaku, I think we've had a hard run. Yeah, maybe it's a little bit of an issue not scoring goals, but I think our attack it does struggle when we only have 2 forwards or 2 attackers. When we have like a 3, if you saw it on Southampton, I know it's only Southampton, but they got a point against City at least. But our attack looked really fluent, really good, and everything. Like, I had Hudson-Odoi, Timo, and Lukaku, and it worked. But like with a 2-striker system, you saw against City, it wasn't that good. And Timo was the best one out of 2 again because he's the one who's gonna do all the running shifts and everything and all that stuff. But Lukaku, I'm not really that worried with him because, like I said, if he gets the chances, if he gets like 3 decent chances in the game, I think he at least scores 1 or maybe 2. And I think we have a little bit of a creativity problem, like with Chelsea, but we do seem to get goals around the whole pitch, though. Weirdly, like we get from defenders, midfielders, and even attackers. Yeah. That's why maybe Lukaku's not getting many goals. We're just scoring everywhere from the pitch as well. Like even Timo's got 2 goals in all comps for Chelsea this season as well, but not that many. But no, I'm not worried. But I'm not sure if you guys noticed though. But when the ball got pinged to Lukaku, it hit his back like that made me laugh. It just hit his back. He just weren't looking. I don't know why Lukaku weren't looking when the ball got pinged to him. It's like he forgot about the ball or something, or he thought it's going way over his head and he can run. I don't know. He could have got a goal if he didn't get pushed. Actually, I thought in that game. Yeah. So it would have been a good goal. Well, a good link up from him. I think Kovacic started off. I'm not sure. Yeah. Timo and him was the ending. Yeah. I thought. A lot of people said Timo did nothing in that game. I think I disagree with actually because he put in a shift in that game. Like he was creating space. He's putting the ball in the box a few times. He's a what's the word? Oh, I forgot the word anyway. But he was just a pain for what's it called, Brentford to deal with, and I thought he did pretty well. I think it's just one of those games when it's a 2-striker system. They're gonna suffer, aren't they? It's sufferable for them. So I think that's that.
So before we continue, because I do want to continue discussing this formation and potential solutions here, guys, make sure if you're watching the video, smash that like button. If you're watching in the future, leave a comment. Let us know what you think the solution is. Let us know what your concerns are with the team and how we've been playing lately. Make sure you share that video if you'd like. Subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. Check out the links in the description, and it all helps us out. I really appreciate you guys being here. So one thing that I did notice about yesterday's game that actually impressed me was the creativity that was coming out of Ruben. I think it's safe to say that Ruben Loftus-Cheek has definitely earned a position in a rotational midfield here. I think there was one play that really impressed me was when he was right outside of the 18-yard box and he just chips it over to Timo, and Timo, who is not used to getting the ball like that, wasn't ready for it. But if Timo knows Ruben and links up, that could have been a Timo goal, or that could have been Lukaku. I think part of the problem that we're having with Lukaku, with our attacking three and Lukaku, is that it seems that the plays are way too obvious. We only try to play ball to feet. We don't try to be creative. Like, either if we go through the middle, either we're trying to through ball to Lukaku's feet, or we go to the wing backs and we cross it in. I think seeing what Ruben brought to the table, a little bit of, and this is why I think maybe bringing in a Pulisic might help us. A more direct creator, someone who can chip the ball in from time to time, give you a more creative pass or dribble through some players, and maybe relieve some pressure off of a Lukaku or give him some space. I think I do want to see a game where we have Jorginho holding down the fort and Ruben having a little bit more freedom to play up the field and try to help with the creativity issues that we're having with the attack.
Like a right forward, yeah.
Like possibly like a right forward, or possibly as part of a double six that just dribbles upward. Because that's the other thing too, is that I do like Ruben as part of a double six, because if you give someone like Ruben, who can control the ball so well and dribble, you give him more of the field to do that. You give him more permission to do that, to move up and progress the ball. So,
you have to have the right partner for that, yeah.
Real Chris, what did you think of Ruben's performance? Do you think that he could be part of the solution?
I thought he was amazing. He's brilliant in that game, I thought. When you talked about where he gave the Timo, there was actually, I did see like Timo could actually gave it back to Ruben, because Ruben actually made a forward run as he passed it, and if Timo actually saw Ruben, like he could have passed it like diagonal ways to the left side, and probably Ruben puts that away, because I think Ruben's shooting's actually not bad. Like he can put it in the net if he like has that 1v1 situation. I thought he bossed the midfield for the majority of the game, like him, and I thought Kovacic was okay in the second half with him as well, but like he was our definitely best midfield in that game. Like he dominated it, and I'm actually wrong about the guy. I thought he's done. I thought it's going to be make or break season for me to show. I just thought he has to show it this season, and he has shown it. He's shown it 100%. Like he deserves to be starting for Chelsea like a lot of games now, I think, unless he drops stinkers. But let's hope not, because this Ruben is a scary Ruben, and I don't know how old he is. He's like 25, 26, so he's coming to his prime, and I'm actually happy for him because he deserves this. Like he's been working through loan after loan after loan, and he's finally getting his chance under Thomas Tuchel. He had a chance with Sarri, but he's finally got his chance with Thomas Tuchel, and Thomas Tuchel clearly likes him. He can play him as a forward line if he wants to. He can play him as a DM6.
Very versatile.
He's a very good player to have, and I thought he did boss that midfield.
Yeah.
I thought his dribble. He's quite a tall guy and everything, but his dribbling and getting out of like tight spaces is really good, I think, as well. Like he did that pretty well. Yeah, he did that really well.
Will just mentioned it too. The press, dude. This guy, there was a play yesterday too where he got dispossessed and immediately got the ball back. Like, when does that ever happen? Like, we don't see it. Well, it happens with Jorginho. That happens with Koa from time to time.
Yeah,
and Kante. Well, Kante always loses the ball because it's terrible passing, but I mean, he's good at getting the ball back.
He can pass it sometimes.
He's an amazing dribbler. We saw that clearly yesterday, how fantastic he looked dribbling with the ball. So impressive from Kante. If it wasn't for Mendy, Kante would have been my man of the match. But Ruben just loses the ball because, maybe he didn't realize there was a press on him, and then just gets it back. Just physicality through the roof. Phenomenal. And I love to see it. And, I do want to see more of him. I want to see him attack more often because I feel like he can really help us. Like I have said before, that we do lack that DM that if our attacking three doesn't work, the DM can come in, put on his shooting boots, and act as a fourth option, a fourth attacking option. But Will, what do you think about Ruben's performance? Would you like to see him more often? Do you want to see him in a double six with Jorginho? Do you think you want to see him in an attacking role? What are your overall thoughts here?
A fully fit Ruben Loftus-Cheek is our second most talented academy product ever, behind John Terry. But we just got to keep him fit. We can't play him too much, I don't think. Not yet. Play him maybe play him in every game, but don't start him in every game, if you get what I mean. Manage him well. Don't burn him out. Because if he continues his form, he'll be getting an England call up, in my opinion, relatively soon. Yeah, so he'll also have to play for national team, etc.
So.
Well, yeah, I don't. Yeah.
We don't want him to get fatigued or hurt.
You spoke about the how we created chances as well. I don't think that's actually a player problem. I think Tuchel wants us to play like that. I think he's a perfectionist. I think he wants to create a system which can that can break down teams, that can also almost like humiliate teams with great football. I think Tuchel is still implementing things. I don't think this is the full Thomas Tuchel Chelsea, although we did win a Champions League. I feel like this is sort of like a make do Thomas Tuchel Chelsea until it doesn't work, and then maybe he'll work even more to change, tweak things. But yeah, I think he's just a perfectionist, and I think he's going to be pretty stubborn with how we want to create chances, which I'm fine with, because you can't just throw away your ideas, because otherwise you'll never improve as a team, and you'll never get to the final product if you don't fail at first. So, yeah, that's what I have to say on Ruben, really, and how we create chances.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I agree with the majority of what both of you guys have been saying. I just want to see more improvement with the attacking third. I haven't been content with Havertz. Haven't been content with Mount. Like, even coming in as a sub, Mount was so unimpactful. I think he had more of an impact the last game than he did this one. And even when he came on, we lost that midfield battle, and he usually is one that helps out with that. So I just think this attacking third needs to sort out whatever is wrong with them. Maybe, and look, I'll say it right now. Maybe there should be some games where we don't play Lukaku and see what happens. Because, as much as I do want to play Lukaku, as much as we paid, what we paid for him, and he should be scoring goals, maybe he needs a break. Maybe he needs a break from time to time. Maybe this team needs to go back to linking up with what they linked up with last season. Maybe play Havertz in the false nine and see where it goes from there. Mount false nine. Like, just trying different things to see what we can do to bring back that creative spark that we had last season, where we had all these bullets but no gun to fire, and then try to implement that with Lukaku as well. So we'll see. And who knows, maybe some of these attacking players without a Lukaku come into form and start putting goals away as well. So I'm not opposed to it. I do want Lukaku to rest, because I don't want to play him every single game as well. I just don't think he already had this muscle fatigue with Belgium. But yeah, I want to see. Callum didn't have a bad game last game that he played. He looked good.
No, he didn't.
I want to see him play, and I want to see Pulisic play. I don't know what's going on with him.
Is Pulisic fit?
He had COVID.
That's the thing too.
Didn't he?
That's the thing too. Pulisic.
He got an injury, then COVID. Yeah.
Yeah, Pulisic is supposed to be back in 10 days, and it's been like 3 weeks now. So with Pulisic, bro, you need to get your fitness together. And you need, I think, like I said last stream, I believe.
I don't know what's wrong with
him. If he gets injured again, I think he's done. Like, we can't, as great as he was post pandemic or post reopening during.
We can't live off that forever, though, can we?
You can't live off that forever. You can't live off having moments in games And even before his recent injury, he wasn't looking that great in the team. You know, he looked good during Crystal Palace, but that preseason, he was lacking. He was lacking. So if he comes in, I think he really has to really step up. He really does. Like, he needs to be the impactful dribbler that we know him to be. We have a good run of games coming up. We have some very, very winnable games. I think this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for us to like really, really step up, experiment, and figure out this problem. Because if we continue this form after this good run of games that we have, and we start playing the tougher teams again, oh boy, I don't see us being able to retain the lead that we have right now. So I don't know what you guys think about that.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's Thomas Tuchel. Maybe it's the team all together. They're just taking their foot off the gas when they had such a hard. We had such a hard run, like all the way up until Brentford. Now we got, like you said, an easy run. I think Norwich should be no problem, Chelsea. I think we'll go win that 3-4-0, like no problem if we start Lukaku, Timo, and a third attacker. But so I don't think it's an issue. Like, I've seen Chelsea win leagues like this. I've seen we win 1-0 and actually scrape it. I remember, was it under Joe? Yeah, it's got to be under Jose, when we had Courtois, where we got lucky against Sunderland, where we beat 1-0. I remember that game, and Courtois had hell of a save at the very end, and it scraped a 1-0 win. We had 1-0 wins before as well, even under Conte as well. We play just like, terrorist football, whatever you want to call it. Like, we play defensive football, and it just happens. Like, you just got to grind out the results, and that's what the Premier League's about most of the time. You just grind out the 1-0s to 2-0s, as long as you're keeping clean sheets, regardless of the keeper or defense, whatever. Scoring like 3 goals every game is just not going to happen every game for Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, Chris,
you go win the league anyway.
I don't disagree, Chris, but the thing is that even when you have to scruff out those games, usually, like, we've had good games before that. You know, we'll have the occasional 1 or 2 games where it's like, okay, I mean, it wasn't the most amazing win, but we still got the result. We're getting the results, but this has been an ongoing issue now that we're having. And even international break, you would think, hopefully, it's a little bit of a reset. Players break away from the tactics. They come back refreshed or ready to, try harder or put it. But fuck, dude, like, these players came back and they were like, all right, back to basics, like back to the not creating enough chances, back to the lackluster performances,
If you hear what Thomas Tuchel said, though, I will let you. I think he said, like, you expect this after international break, like, you're not gonna be like amazing and like fluid and like back to normal. That's why I hate international breaks, because it just changes our football again. Like, it slows it down again. But I think when we get back to the rhythm, Norwich is a nice game for a second game to go into, and it'd be good for that. But was you gonna say something, Will?
I wanted to talk about Pulisic, actually. I'm not going to give up on Pulisic, if I'm being honest. I'm not going to give up on him, because
even if he gets injured again.
No, because the thing is with Pulisic is we've normally been so ruthless, and I don't mind us being ruthless to a certain degree. But in the past, we have been so ruthless with other managers, where managers have just binned off players they feel like they don't like, or they're injury prone, and they've not had a good enough chance. Players like Ruben, that we've given a chance to nurture and have game time where he can get fitness back and find a way so he can keep fit and we can get the best out of him, it gives me hope with a player like Pulisic. It gives me hope. It does. And the talent that he has shown more to me than most of the attackers at Chelsea right now. So I think for me to back other players and not back him would be hypocritical.
That's fine. I mean, I get what you're saying, but the difference between a Pulisic and a Ruben Loftus-Cheek, for example, is that Ruben went out on a loan and recovered and played games and managed to stay fit. Pulisic hasn't been on loan. He's on our roster. There have been many games where we needed him. And by the way, guys, I did put the link out in the chat. Come join us and discuss the game. Let us know your thoughts, your concerns, and let's have a discussion. But with Pulisic, this man cannot stay fit long enough to make an impact for the team. And as much as I want to believe that, when he comes back, when he's fit, he's just gonna automatically just hit the ground running and start scoring goals for us, creating plays and creating assists. Even there have been games where he's fit, and even then he doesn't do that. He hasn't really. He has his occasional moments. Unfortunately, I hate to say this, he has his occasional moments. Real Madrid, absolutely wonderful, legendary moment, especially against Courtois. Fuck Courtois. But other than that, like, you know why. We're not doing this. You want to know why? Fucking unpopular opinions. Attack that backlog. It's right there, bro. But it's like, can how many chances are you going to give someone who hasn't been there for the team? As opposed to, like, it's one thing if you say Ziyech, right? I get Ziyech. The man hasn't performed. He hasn't performed. Again, he's had his moments, but he's been fit. He's been more fit than Pulisic. With Pulisic, he hasn't performed when he has been fit, and he hasn't been fit. So it's like a double negative there. So, Abs, what's going on, bro? What are you saying, man? How are you?
I was just on a space basically putting Harry Kane down, calling him a scrub and all down, proving why he's not world class. Because he's not world class. I don't want to hear it from anyone. He isn't. But nah, so he's saying Brentford away. You know what? For all the things that people say about, we were poor yesterday, we didn't create too much, we weren't defensively, all that, we still got to win. Liverpool couldn't win there. There's so many teams who Arsenal, except Arsenal isn't really a big game for them because Arsenal are dead. But bare big teams will struggle. And here's the thing, though. What I'm liking about this current Chelsea team is we're not playing well, but the most important thing is it's not just that we're winning games. We're winning games that we are meant to be winning on paper. Like Southampton, Aston Villa, Brentford, just to name a few. These Wolves, Everton, these are the kind of games that you need to be collecting 6 points from every single season. None of this draw or loss business. You have to be winning all of them. And apart from us, how many of the other teams can you say have beat all them like mid-table teams that they've come up against them? Man City didn't because they they drew with Southampton and lost to Spurs. Liverpool didn't because they drew with Brentford. Man United didn't because they lost to Villa, drew with Everton, and drew with Southampton. We've beaten all these teams. So for me, as bad as the performance may have been, we still got the win, did our job. We move on to Norwich, and this one is where I'm expecting us to slap 4-5 past them to make a statement to the rest of the league.
Fucking hope. I hope so, man. If we can't score more than one goal against Norwich, I don't know what to say. Billy Gilmore tax, bro.
We will. Don't worry. We'll score 4. We will put 4 past them, and just for a bit of banter, we'll put a further 5th.
Yeah, I got to captain Lukaku for that game, and I hope he fucking performs, man. I hope. But yeah, let's see. We have another guest here. I don't see the name, so I don't know what to call you. But what is going on, brother? Brazzy, all right. What's good, Brazzy? How you doing, my friend? What are you saying, man?
No, good. I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Brazzy.
Nah, it's getting a bit worrying. I'm not gonna lie. You know, it's good.
I feel you.
We're moving a bit shaky right now, and I don't think it's as if we're still on vacation. I'm talking about the players, and I don't think we've been playing well since the beginning of the season. And I think it's funny that you could tell that Lukaku was overperforming his XG. You know, he weren't getting that many chances, and the one that he got, he was scoring, and it was never gonna go down like that all the time. Because I was looking at like Lewandowski's numbers, you know, Benzema as well. And I was watching Lewandowski, and he scored, I think, 9 goals now? Yeah, I think he scored 9 goals. He's missed like 8 big chances. Holland is different because he scored 9 and missed like 2 big chances. He's very clinical. But that's the thing. I think Chelsea are just not creating enough. And people always, I think, when we watch Chelsea, when something is bad right now, we think in the past we're doing well, even though going forward, we've never been doing great. Even last season when Tuchel came at Chelsea. So we were never like we only scored more than 2 goals once, I think. Crystal Palace.
Mm-hmm.
The Crystal Palace game, the only time we only scored more than 2 goals. I feel like we are isolating our players, whether we're playing a 3-4-3 or 3-5-2. I don't think there's a difference. I think the reason why we're playing a 3-5-2 is because the 3-4-3 is failing. We keep getting overrun in midfield. Because
it wasn't a 3-4-3 the whole game, though. We used a 2-striker system with
when Mason Mount came on, it became 3-4-3.
Yeah, that's when we got overrun completely, though. So,
but the reason why we play the 3-5-2 is because the 3-4-3 always gets overrun in midfield. That's why when you play teams that it always does.
It has at times. Yeah, like look at the Tottenham game.
I think
we didn't get overrun. But then in the Southampton game, we didn't get overrun. We actually cruised that game most of it.
We got overrun in the second half. That's why we couldn't get past the middle. We got overrun in the second half. But this is usually what happens. I think people don't understand what overrun means. They think it's a physical thing. It's a numbers thing. If a team is playing a 4-3-3, they have 3 midfielders. We have 2. Yeah. They're gonna win that midfield battle. We can't win it. We don't have enough numbers in the midfield.
Well, that's what we attack as a 5 normally in a 4-3-3. Like the wing backs do normally attack. Like they act as wingers at times. Yeah. Like even Chilwell, he pushes up a lot, and then Hudson-Odoi, if he's wing back, he pushes up a lot. Reece James, he can push up a lot. Like we do attack as a 5, and then we defend as a 5. Like that's how Chelsea normally operate under Tuchel.
I'm talking about the midfield battle. We play with a 2, so 3 versus 2 will always win. And I was watching. I was watching when we scored that goal. I was watching us, and we had 2 attackers in the box. I was watching Man City. They had 4 attackers in the box. You see what the difference is? We had Ben Chilwell and Aspilicueta at the edge of the box, and then N'Golo Kante closer to the edge of the box, but inside. And that was the issue. We don't have enough attackers on the pitch. It's always like 6 versus 2 in favor of the team we're playing against. We never have enough attackers on the pitch. It's always a struggle. That's why when you watch Werner, he looks so isolated. You watch Lukaku, so isolated. We bring Kai Havertz, he looks so isolated. Whereas if you watch, I'm sure you're watching Liverpool play. And how it's so easy for them to just create chance after chance after chance after chance. And people are going to say, oh, that's because we don't have creative midfielders. But how many creative midfielders can you name from Liverpool? There's one. He's playing.
Okay,
there's no
hold
other.
on. I mean, the thing with Liverpool, though, is that they couldn't defeat Brentford. So, like,
they couldn't.
At the end of the day, that defense was shaky. That defense couldn't.
What's funny?
Van Dijk was dancing to Ivan Toney, bro. Like, man was doing the cha-cha-cha back there and couldn't even keep up.
The thing is, Marshall, they should have lost that game.
They should have.
Yeah, no. They actually shouldn't have lost that game. The funny thing is that they couldn't defeat Brentford, but they accumulated, I think, 2-point-something XG. So they created a lot of quality chances. You know how much we created against Brentford?
Yeah, very low.
0.26.
But
and I think 0.
Can I say something?
Half was good.
A game is not run by stats.
We were creating chances, man. We were doing good that first half,
but
and then that second
over
half
a period of time, over a 38-game season, you need those expected stats to be on your side. It happened with Mourinho last. I remember watching a show, and I thought this guy was hating on Mourinho because I really love Mourinho because I'm a Chelsea fan. And he said, because I think they were number 1 at that time, and he said it doesn't make sense why Tottenham are top of the league. All the expected stats are against them being at the top of the league, and they fell off a cliff. I think it was just that after that Liverpool defeat.
Yeah, but that's Tottenham in general, though.
And the
thing is, though, I know what you're trying to say is that we should be getting expected stats with those, but let's be real. Like even United treble winners, even United double winners in 2008. I looked at their football. Most of the time, they weren't even the best player team on the pitch.
But you know what the
even
difference
even the Champions League final, they weren't the best team on the pitch, but they managed to win it. Like stats don't really mean anything.
You know what's the difference? You know what's the difference between that United team you're talking about? They're not going against Pep Guardiola's Man City or Klopp's Liverpool. Or
the thing is though, like my point is, like you don't have to be the most dominant team ever. You don't have to win like you don't have to be like the best team for 90% of your matches. You can have like you can have like Brentford were the better
No,
team on the day, but they
Nah, I
lost.
can't lie. I
I
can't
understand
lie.
what you're saying.
That is correct for cup competitions. You do need to have a level of consistent, great performances to win a league title. Otherwise, it's not going to last. There's going to be games where you don't score that one goal. And I get what Brazzy is saying, and I do get the comparison to Jose Mourinho's Tottenham last year. I do get. I wouldn't really compare us to that because I think we're a way better team. But I get what you say about the competition. You've got Liverpool, who yes, they might have drawn with Brentford, but they beat Watford 5-0. They're beating teams 4-3, 4-5-0. And I know we're ahead of them. And I'm not saying we're not going to win the league. I'm not saying anything like that. But I do get why people are concerned.
You know,
Because
you know what this feels like to me, guys? I'll be honest. I'll come out straight. You know what this feels like to me? And I don't want to compare managers, but you remember how we were doing okay under Lampard? And we managed to scruff out a win against West Ham, and we shouldn't have. Like we thought
I remember
we remember that feeling, right? We thought we were in the limelight. We were like, all right, cool, we're doing okay. And then all of a sudden, it just capitulated, and we just went into like a shit form for a month. That's just what it feels like. I feel like,
Marshall,
you could say I'm overreacting. Hold on. You could say I'm overreacting, and there's context, right, Hassan? I get it. Yeah. It just feels like to me that we're at this point where we might come to a point where we're not going to be able to score. We're going to continue this unscoring form, and then some manager is going to figure out, it's already kind of happening. They're kind of figuring out the formation or the system, and we're not going to be able to score, and then we're going to concede a goal. We're going to lose by a goal or 2 goals or whatever, depending on the team. I just have this feeling in my chest that we're hitting that West Ham point where we're like, all right, we got a good result, and then all of a sudden it's just going to start capitulating, which I hope doesn't happen, because I hope
can I say something, Marshall?
Not let that happen.
You know what's the difference? You know what's the difference? Let me speak.
Yeah, Brazil.
Remember last season under Tuchel, we used to rotate. I remember we rotated. I think like we made like 6-7 changes against Man City in the FA Cup semi-final, and we still dominated them in possession. And we used to rotate all the time under Tuchel, all the time, whether it's centre backs or midfielders or attackers. No more so Jorginho. I think Jorginho played too many games, and we rotated so much, but we were still by far the best defensive team in the league. Right now we're the 8th best. If you actually look at the XG against all the defensive metrics, we are the best. I think we were 3rd for expected goals. I think we were 3rd somewhere there. So we were that good. I don't know what happened this season. I don't understand. We've made 3 clearances off the line. We didn't make a single one, I don't think, last season. We've made 3 in about 11 games. What is James against Aston Villa? Was it Chalobah against Aston Villa again in the league game? And Chalobah against Brentford now. We just keep conceding too many chances. Like what was this Brentford guy's manager? The manager's name, Thomas Frank, comes out with arrogance and said they were lucky. We were by far the better team. You just got promoted, bro. Why are you talking to us like that?
I mean, to be honest,
when you got hair like that, bro.
I was talking.
When you look like an 80s porn star, bro, you come out with some arrogance, man. What are you saying, Chris?
How do you say that to the champions of Europe? How do you say that? How do you say they got like we had like 5 quality chances and they created nothing? And the most funny thing is that he's telling the truth. We can't say anything. We couldn't get hold of the ball in the second half. Remember, we used to do this thing. I remember I was watching Burnley, and they would show the highlights, and when the highlights was over, we'd have the ball back. That's what they were doing to us. When they were showing the missed shots from Brentford, when I think we were playing out from the back, they already have the ball in their own half, passing it out again, and we were struggling. I've never seen us play like. I thought they outplayed us.
Wait, I need to say something like Brazzy before all gets thrown away.
Yeah, real Chris and
I was gonna say, maybe this is a question. I don't know, but you talk about goals and everything. Chelsea ain't getting much goals, but we've got the same amounts as City. 16 scored 16 this season, same as City, 16.
Yeah.
Liverpool, I think they scored 20 something, like 22 or I don't know.
Liverpool are
they're a little bit ahead of us, but we ain't faced a Norwich, we ain't faced a Watford yet, and we've had harder teams than them, so we could still score just as much as them. And they can't just say, "Oh, we have a 100 million striker." That 100 million striker ain't scored a lot of goals either. Himself, like we're getting wait, hang on, Hassan. We're getting goals everywhere around the pitch of our whole team, like defense to midfield to attack, and that's where we're getting. I don't think we have to worry that much yet. Like the Brentford game, I do agree with you, Brazzy. The Brentford game, we didn't really create much, but we still won it at least.
But I'm talking about the beginning of the season. When your defenders are scoring your attackers,
we won 3-0 beginning of the season.
You're gonna out. So what you want Chalobah to compete with Mo Salah until the end of the season? Is that what we're doing now? Because that's what we're doing.
No, I'm not saying that. But we're getting goals around the whole pitch, same as City. City are doing that as well. They're getting goals everywhere.
Chris brings up a really good point, which is we have had our just to be fair to Chelsea, we have had our tough run of games just now. We haven't had the easy run of games that Liverpool has had. And guess what? Liverpool are about to get some tough games.
And
you know,
that's what I was gonna say. Liverpool is gonna have the game.
Apart from let me just say, when was the last time Arsenal beat Liverpool? When was the last time? When was the last time you saw Arsenal? When was the last time Tottenham beat Liverpool? The only tough teams to Liverpool is Chelsea and Man City.
No, but it don't matter though. As long as even if they don't beat them, as long as Arsenal or Tottenham draw to them, they're gonna drop points. They're gonna drop points.
They've won, I think, every game against Tottenham for about 3 years now. It's never close.
But this is football though.
I understand what you're saying, but
we've beaten Tottenham for the last 30 years, and we only lost to them once at home at Stamford Bridge. That was our 2017. The odd game can still happen. This football, man. And didn't Brentford didn't Brentford get their first ever win against Arsenal after
that
like
is true.
6 years?
Yeah. Yep. That is absolutely true. But Abs, what did you want to say, bro? You had something you wanted to input before.
Yeah.
And also, I was going to mention about the whole hard run. Let me just give you a rundown of the teams we've played so far. We played Palace at home, Arsenal away, who was at Liverpool away, Villa at home, Tottenham away.
You played Juventus as well.
Man, I'm not even including Champions League. I'm only including the Premier League now. Man City at home, Southampton at home, Brentford away. To give you a bit of context, Southampton, we didn't beat them last season, home or away. Man City and Liverpool are two of the best teams in the Prem. Palace is Palace, whatever. Arsenal, again, another game. We didn't beat them away. Spurs, to be fair, we did beat them away. Villa, we didn't beat at home last season, home or away. And we've come out of them having beaten Arsenal, Spurs, Villa, Southampton, Brentford, and Palace. That's 6 out of 8 games, and we've got the most points. And this is our hard run. Our next few games, we've got Norwich at home, Newcastle away, and Burnley at home. Them 3.
I mean, I was going to say Newcastle's going to be the hardest one because they're a bogey team.
I don't think Newcastle will be hard.
No. I'm talking about they're the odd bogey team. I'm talking about the hardest out of the next 3. Because
they're going to have the manager bounce against us, bro.
Yeah, they're going to have the manager bounce.
No, I was actually not talking about the results. I was talking about the performances. I was saying the performances always catches up. I'm not talking about the results. But then again,
though, Brazzy, you got to admit, though, it's hard to perform well against those teams. Like, those are, like, some of the higher mid-table teams, you know?
I think this is the positive from all this. Because the performances haven't been great. I think we should change ahead of time. I think Tuchel should change ahead of time. Maybe try a new formation. Because this is the easiest run I think we're going to have until mid-November, I think, if not late November.
No, we don't really have a hard fixture up until January. We only
I'd rather not try to experiment different formations or stuff like that because what's happening goes wrong and we drop points in the game.
I feel like now's not the right time to do it.
Guys,
maybe
we're getting slapped up by everyone in the group, even Zenit, who we don't.
I feel like we should I feel like we should
formations don't mean anything. They literally don't mean anything. It's not about the formation. I can give a toss if we set up with a 4-4-2. I don't give a toss if we set up with a 4-4-2.
It does. The formation does make a difference.
It does make a difference on paper. Yes, it does. Okay, on paper it makes a difference. It's all about discipline and roles. That's what it's about. It's about how
these players already know the principles of gegenpressing and how to move the ball. We have
he's not going to forget. There's more detail than just gegenpressing, though, isn't it? It's about
no, but there's a difference
to play. It's not about the shape.
There's a difference. There's a difference when you attack us.
That will say thing.
No, but it's true. But we're too wrapped up in formations. Formation is a very fluid thing. It changes at all different. It's all different at different stages and against different opposition. I don't mind.
But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, though. I don't want Chalobah bombing up the flank. I want Reece James bombing up the flank.
But that's,
you understand what I'm saying?
That's to do with roles.
But it's not going to be. We have Aspie inside the box. What is Aspie doing inside the box? What is he going to do inside the box? There's a difference between a 4-3-3.
We do have overlapping wing backs, which is part two.
But that's what I mean. That's what I mean by roles. You pay the right player. You pay the right players to suit the right roles. You don't play.
We don't have the players for the back three. You can see we have we have fullbacks.
That's fine. That's fine. So
we have two fullbacks who can be great fullbacks. They're never going to be great wingbacks. They're not like that. They can't beat them.
That's fine. If you play a 3, you play Hudson-Odoi. If you play a 4, you play James. But it doesn't matter. The formation does not mean as much as we all worry about. It doesn't mean much at all. The formation is not a system. The formation is not a system. The system is how we want to build up.
Another example to go off of what Will is saying. I know everyone's talking about how Liverpool is so attacking and Liverpool is doing really great when it comes to goals scored and they play a 4-3-3. When you actually look at them on paper, not on paper, when you look at them play, they don't really follow a 4-3-3 like formation. They kind of play a 2
at the back with wing backs.
5-3. They kind of play a 2-5-3. You know what I mean? Like Trent becomes a midfielder.
Can I, Marshall? Can I add on to your point? Can anyone? Wait a minute, Brazzy. I want one of you guys in the most basic term to explain Liverpool's system. Please explain it to me without mentioning their formation. What is Klopp's Liverpool known for? One of you.
Attacking one touch football.
Is there known for Klopp is known for his midfield.
Back cross. That's what we do.
Klopp is known for their midfield rotation.
That's what they do.
I agree with that, Will, because the midfield drops and then helps the right back or whatever you want to call it.
Klopp is known for his midfield rotations, which gives Trent and Robertson space to create and gives Salah and Mane more freedom while Firmino drops to link the play. That is the most basic part of Klopp's system going forward. We're not talking about how they press because that's not really what we're talking about now. People are just too wrapped up with the tactical side of the game. Just let Thomas Tuchel sort it out. Our system doesn't have to change. The shape can. Doesn't change the system.
You should look at our average positions. Tuchel's teams always keep their average positions. Aspie is always right back. He's never going to be playing center mid. He doesn't have the technical ability like that.
So that's not my point. My point isn't.
Let me make this point. So when you say he sticks to the Tuchel always sticks to the formation. He will never change.
Of course,
look at our average position. So when you say it doesn't mean we're gonna switch, and Aspie is gonna be playing over here, or Werner's gonna be playing.
Play that role in the game,
but
in the 90 minutes.
Tell me, you can't see that our attackers are isolated on the pitch.
Of course, they're isolated.
They don't have other
change up. You ask them to do a different role. You ask them to move into different areas. You ask them
how are they going to do that? You can't just move. You're going to leave gaps. You don't just move. What you're talking about is positional play.
What do you mean?
Where when a player moves,
Brazzy, I'm not going to talk to you because you just speak over people. You don't.
Yeah, you're asking them questions. You have to answer.
Yeah, you can't just speak over people and then cut them off before they even explain.
I do want you guys to have this discussion, but don't try not to speak over each other. Try to let each other.
And
this is very interesting.
It hurts the viewers' ears as well. Come on.
Now make your point.
Okay. My point isn't just about where you flow on a fucking football pitch. That's so basic. There's multiple things. The shape, yes, does matter to a certain extent, but we are getting our heads wrapped around this 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3 or a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3. If Tuchel doesn't have the players to play how he wants to play, sell them. Sell them. If we get to a point where he doesn't like Werner because he can't do he's not good enough in at this aspect of his build of the build up he wants to play, or he can't press like another player. It doesn't matter who it is. You sell them and you get someone that can do those roles. It's what managers like Sarri and Pep Guardiola are known for. They're not known for. No one cares how Pep or Sarri sets up on paper because it means fuck all. It means fuck all. It's about how players are drilled. If our players can't be drilled into a great way of playing football and how Tuchel wants in almost like a utopia system where it's perfect, he's a perfectionist. He wants to make everything perfect. It's why we don't play Ziyech to play hero ball, and we don't want to be pragmatic enough that we have to rely on a piece of individual brilliance, because that is boring. That is Conte and Jose football, relying on that sort of shit. We want to play proper football, and it will take time. This is why at the start of the season, I didn't expect us to win the league, because Tuchel wants to build this perfect team, and we're not a perfect team yet. He's managing with what he's got right now.
So how Chelsea was defensively this season than last season?
No, they're about the same.
No, we actually worse this season.
I don't know about that, Hassan. I don't know about that.
Defensively, we should have considered about 6 more goals than now.
Okay.
Defensively, we're a shambles.
We're not a
shambles defensively this season.
I don't know about we're a shambles.
What games are we in shambles defensively?
You know what Chelsea? If Chelsea want to finish in the top 6, actually Chelsea are amazing for finishing in the top 6. But for challenging Man City and Liverpool, they are nowhere near that.
I mean,
right now.
And that's the problem.
If you're talking about the fixtures right now, we're set.
Man City have the same fixtures as us. Their underlying stats are way better than us. It's not even close. Man City are the best defensive team in the league, and the second best attacking team in the league. They're the most balanced side.
Yeah, of course they are. And
Yeah,
they've got the best manager.
That's why they won the league 4 out of 5 times.
Chelsea last season were the best
I'm not even
defensive
joking.
team in Europe. All matches.
I mean, hold on. Let's bring this back too. I get what Brazzy's saying. I feel like this season, when you look at the shots conceded for Chelsea last season versus this season, there is a difference. We are conceding more shots. You know, we are like Brentford. Just Brentford yesterday. Well. How many shots did we concede against Brentford yesterday? Like 5, 6, maybe
7, 4, 5. I think
on top of my head.
Against 7 against Brentford, we don't normally do that. We don't normally do that. Now, mind you, there is context to this though, and you know, Brazzy, I want you to listen to this. There is context to it. Abs just pointed it out. We played an Arsenal. We played a Villa with Danny Ings, by the way. That's an improved attack.
That's what we are.
Yeah,
that's what we are.
We played a Man City. Lost to Man City, unfortunately. We played Liverpool with 10 men.
Juventus.
Juventus as well. And I was just naming Prem games. We have had some tough games. And in the games that aren't so tough, there have been some performances that have been lackluster. Now, in my opinion, am I for changing the formation? Not necessarily. I wouldn't mind it. I could definitely see Tuchel trying to do 4-2-2-2 and seeing how that goes. But I think the biggest issue right now is players' forms. I think we're just going through this patch where Ziyech is off form, Havertz is off form, Mason Mount, who this is very rare to say, also off form. You know, Lukaku is going a little bit off form, hasn't scored in his last 6 games. You know, I just think it's a form issue more than it is a tactical issue. Like Timo's on form right now. Timo's doing good. You know,
Chalobah's on form.
Marshall, there is a perfect master plan that Tuchel wants to pull off, but we haven't had the time to implement it yet. We just got
when you're playing
onto that.
There's a problem with playing the same system and you're performing worse in a department you were amazing at. There is a problem there. It's not like it's an attack thing, because the attack has always been poor since last season. but the defense was amazing. No matter, even if we played Zuma, we were still very good. He would be clumsy on the ball at times, but that's Zuma.
Yeah.
But we're amazing in defense. We are second for clearances, bro.
Can I ask you something, bro? What games have been badly defensively bad? And except for, I know the Brentford game, of course, and maybe the City game too. But like, what other games?
To be fair,
Aston Villa
opened up. But
the only
Aston
team
Villa, they had a couple of chances, but they only had a couple of chances.
They were
I think that's normal.
from our midfield.
Zenit actually accumulated more.
I mean, just in Premier League. I mean, just Premier League.
I mean, Zenit does count too, though.
When you look at the results, everything looks amazing, but the performances are not good enough, and these numbers will not lie to you. Just like I was saying, when we won the league under Conte, City were the best at everything. XG against expected points. You know which team won the league with 100 points the following season? It was Man City, and we've never been near them.
No,
These stats, people undermine stats and they think they are useless stats.
What are you saying?
No, they're not useless at all. I hear what you're saying. They're not useless.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see a lot better when we play people like Norwich and what's it called, Newcastle, Watford. We're gonna be facing easier teams as well, and Burnley as well. Like,
let Abs and Hassan talk, and then we'll wrap this up.
Alright, here's my only issue.
No, Chris, finish. I was gonna say, Chris, finish off your point.
I'm finished anyway. I'm finished.
All right, Abs, what are you saying, bro?
Alright, so here's the problem with what my guy is saying is that you forget to add context into everything you're saying. The fact that a team's conceding shots doesn't necessarily mean there are big chances being created. Like, for instance, against Liverpool, we may have been conceding shots. If you go back and watch the highlights...
Bro, we conceded like 20 shots against Liverpool. And majority...
Yeah, but here's the problem, though. Most of the shots they were taking were long shots, and they weren't goal.
Yeah.
That's fair. Was there any point in the Liverpool game in that second half where any of you here was sat down thinking, "Oh, we're fucked"?
In that second half, we had the best chance. I think. Kovacic in that second half.
If I'm being honest with you, I think it was like 1 or 2 shots out of the 20 that we conceded that were actually decent.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. You have to put it in context. And also against Villa, people forget against Villa, we had Saul starting, we had Cho right wing back, which we've seen, which we've established doesn't work. We had Chalobah in there, who
True, yeah.
And then even yesterday, we had a makeshift defense. So this whole thing about we're defensively not strong and all that, you have to put it in context of the teams we've played and the players we've had. Fair enough, you can, and I get what you're saying in terms of the performances haven't been good, but that's the sign of a good team, is that you're winning and you're not playing well. So just imagine when we start playing what's going to be.
No, the sign of a good team is performing well and then having a game or two when you don't perform well. Not performing well.
You don't win the league based on playing scintillating football all the time.
You're not getting what I'm saying. You're not getting what I'm saying. I'm saying there's nothing wrong with having bad performances here and there. But we have too many since the beginning of the season. I thought maybe we were going to shake it off after the first international break or something. But it's just the first good performance was a good performance defensively and in midfield. It was actually Crystal Palace. We're very good defensively. We didn't allow them. I think they had 0 point something XG.
Arsenal too. Don't forget
Arsenal.
Arsenal were very good. But most of these games, like last, we've been poor.
Guys,
and there's too many games.
I think we should just wrap up because I think we're going to be here all night.
We are kind of going a little back and forth, but I get your concerns, guys, and all of you guys that have been on this panel have brought up very good points on both sides of this. And you know what? You've opened my eyes, bro. I'm seeing the light. You know what? I have faith. I do want to see how Chelsea perform in the next few fixtures that are coming up because we do have an easier run. We do have the Norwiches. We do have the Brightons, not Brentford, Newcastle, and Burnley, and all of them. You know, Malmo. Like, I want to see how we perform against these teams, and if we still can't pull up results, like good and high quality results and convincing results against these teams, then maybe I'll start worrying, right? But as of right now,
I forgot to tell you.
Say, Brazzy.
I think since Conte won the league, the team that won the league has put in, I think, at least 14 wins in a row. I think Conte put in 13, if I'm not mistaken. 14 wins. if we can do that, then I'll be confident because I think we have an easy.
No, but
We're gonna have to wait a while for that.
all I'm gonna say, right, one last thing, right? Even when under Conte season, we didn't even, like, I would say we played good football, but most of them games were like clutch goals by Costa, Pedro. Like Pedro
And
was
that's
all the box, like context to that as well.
That's a result of a pragmatic system. That is
exactly. Though we were just attacking and banging 1 or 2 goals.
Yeah. So again, let's see what happens in the next few games. Our next game is against Malmo, right, guys? At the Champions League. Let's see what happens. That's the other thing too to consider is that let's see what happens when we're fully fit. We haven't had Pulisic. We don't have Rudiger right now. You know, Thiago Silva can't play. You know, so look, I want to see what happens when we have our attackers that are fully fit too. Like when we have Pulisic, because I do want to see what happens with Pulisic and Lukaku. We still haven't seen that. You know, we know that Pulisic with Giroud worked out really well. Let's see what happens with another target man that can also score goals, right? So we still have a lot to go. We have a good run of fixtures coming up. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully it improves. But guys, thank you everyone that's been here. Thank you everyone that watched. YouTube kind of was weird, and before we even had 21 viewers, we had like 19 dislikes. Like, you know, like I don't know what happened with that. Don't worry about it. I think that was a weird bug.
I think there's a few people going on streams disliking videos before they even start.
Maybe that too. That's a weird thing, but don't worry about it. Everything's fine. Kai didn't say anything on Twitter. I promise. No one said anything controversial, and no one said anything crazy in this discussion. But it was a great discussion. We always love having you guys come in and call in. But guys, once again, I've been Marshalldbdx. Make sure you guys like that. Smash that like button. Share the videos you haven't already. If you're watching it in the video, don't smash the dislike button. If you're watching this video in the future, leave a comment down below. Check out the links in the description for the Twitter handles, my YouTube channel, and join us in the Discord. We love you guys so much. But that's it for us. We'll see you tomorrow for the No Filter Rivals show. And yeah, don't do drugs. Stay healthy. Do the thing. Peace.
Peace out.